teammate.
Brian Palavon run far here with Emma Roca after her second place finish at the 2016 Hardrock 100. Congratulations, Emma.
Thank you. To you also.
Oh,
for
thank
the
you.
finish.
How did you enjoy your first Hardrock?
I enjoyed a lot. It's amazing how beautiful it is, how well organized, how can you push hard and really suffer, but at the same time enjoy every mile that you are doing. And for me, the best ever done.
Yeah, you really enjoyed it, yeah.
Oof. I suffer, you know.
Oh.
I had stomach problems, I had cold, I have a bad fall arriving to Telluride, but the things happen in ultra races. So.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, you get better and get better. There are many hours to get better.
Yeah, I saw you a few times out on the course. I think, well, half the times I saw you were not so good, and the other times you were just blowing by me. So, what were the low points on the route?
Yes.
What were the biggest challenges or problems you had out there?
Yes, I think my big problem was the altitude.
Yeah.
I was not that used, and I thought that going down and up it would be good, but not. You need to acclimatize more, because more of the 9 uphills we were over 3,500 meters, and for me it's a huge altitude. And then it's the next homework to do before, if I can come again.
Yeah. So you had some big problems with the stomach. Do you think that was all altitude, or was it also the heat during the day? Was that a problem?
I think the heat in Ouray, because we had the excellent weather during the whole race. But after Ouray, the Beer Creek, they gave me a lot of food. I drank too much vanilla powder and everything like that. And then on going up, I haven't got enough water, and I ran out of water, and it was a bad experience. And the stomach closes a little, like Western. When it's really hot, your body answers different.
Yeah. So how did you come out of those dark places?
I saw you, and you said, you will have a better moment after. And I said, yes, but when? Because I want to gain time between me and Anna. And then I get better 2 or 3 hours after.
And then you had another low point going up Handies. What was happening there?
The altitude, I couldn't go fast. I wanted to go faster, and then I started to and you can't. Your heart was I was at 110 beats per minute.
And you couldn't go any harder?
And it was nothing. And it was like, what happens? I'm like a little snail going, and then on the downhill, then boom.
It was like that light switch went on, because we were both more or less in sync going up Handies, and it was very slow. And coming off, you just disappeared. Was that just, did you have a mental change or a physical change? What happened at the top of Handies Peak?
I knew that every meter that I will go down, I will feel better. So it's like, let's go down because it will go faster. I just change, and I like going downhill. So.
Yeah. And what was it like having a pacer out there, being with Travis Macy?
It was great. The first leg I did it with Rob Wright, and then the second leg after Sherman I did it with Travis Macy. And for me it's excellent to have a pacer in this type of races, because you can have problems, they are dangerous ones, they can just, it's a company, they can accompany you. So for me it's a great deal. I don't know why in Europe they don't do it, because just for the insurance to have someone just taking care of you, they cannot push you, they cannot mule you, but they are there.
Yeah. Does it remind you of all of your adventure racing days? I mean, they're not doing the whole distance, but there's camaraderie.
Yes, when we were with Travis in one section of the Sherman, it was really cold, it was chilly, and I fall down in a river and I get wet through here, and then I just had a long sleeve and a jacket, a rainbow jacket, but I was trembling and I didn't want to put it because I didn't want to stop. And Travis said, Emma, this is an adventure race. Just take care now, because after it will become more and more. So please stop, and I will help you to change clothing. Yes, but I'm trembling and I don't want to stop. And then we change fast, and then I continued and I stopped trembling. But it's an event. It's kind of, the spirit. It's really nice to have a pacer and to have someone.
And it was great. I mean, like, you're a super fierce competitor, obviously, and you're super tough and keep pushing. But every time I saw you, like, whether you were feeling well or not, like, you were having. It seemed like you're having a good time out there.
Yes, I love Hardrock because you find the eight points really close, every 2 or 3 hours. You can. They are excellent. They can tell you things, give you whatever you need. They are there to help you. And also, the landscape was. Now you did that summit, that cold, that downhill. Now snow, rocks, lakes.
How about the night?
Rivers. With the moon. Amazing, amazing. It was an experience that I was smiling. Even if I was suffering, I was enjoying every minute of this hard rock.
And you saw a little bit of wildlife out there?
Yes. Apart from the typical chipmunks or some squirrel or some
Little birds or whatever.
little birds. We think that before arriving to Cunningham, it was 6 a.m., we saw lynx. And it was perhaps, I don't know, 500 meters, but it was, well, brown and with the legs white, and he was looking at us all the time, not moving. I said, oof. And yes, after I saw it in the web, and it had the same profile.
Yeah. So when did you start really pushing to try to catch Anna? Because I think early in the race you kind of run your own race, but when did you turn on the competitive?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then I started to feel bad. And then it was like, okay, let's see. At the half of the race, more or less.
And was there any time in the last half that you started feeling really well again and could make up some good time?
Arriving to Cunningham, it's like, because the altitude, after doing the high altitude points, then I knew that I could go faster. It was the altitude problem.
So you pushed up that last climb?
Yes, as hard as I could, and also the downhill, I just left my legs there, and when I arrived to the finish, I said to Anna, my sore legs is because of your fault, because I was trying to chase you.
I mean, in thinking about the race beforehand, at least this is my first time in this direction, I was thinking that last downhill is going to be easy, and it's a great way to finish.
No, the piece was awful. I knew I did it in training before coming here, and I did it, just the piece was 30 minutes. In the race yesterday, we took 23 minutes going down the piece. So we gained 7 minutes from a training day after 27 hours. And it was like, no, nightmare. The piece was a nightmare. But then the trail coming to here, it's nice.
You liked it? Yeah.
Yes.
Liked it enough to come back here maybe next year if you get a chance?
Perhaps to do the other sense, it makes me more attractive, but also it's really difficult to get inside the lottery. It's a big challenge, and this year for me was a big present to be in. So I'm really proud and happy to have been racing Hardrock, and thanks for the coverage and everything. I really appreciate it because it makes more people know this type of races. That for me it's the best.
Yeah. Speaking of races, what's up next for you? Do you have any other big goals for the year?
I will only do 2 ultra races this year. This one is already done.
Yes.
Resting now. And in October, Diagonal de Fou.
Yeah.
Probably I have the spot from UTMB and from the World Tour. They have a spot for me, so I think it's also a good one to have an experience once in life.
And that's your first time going there,
And perhaps the last, because there are a lot of races. And I love to know others and see how they are organized, and also the trail. I think the race course for me is one of the motivations.
Do you like the concept of Hardrock where it changes direction, so it's the same area but would feel different?
Yes, it's like in Europe when I did the stage race, the Transalpine race. Then also it's another thing to motivate you to repeat the other year.
Okay.
You did this both sides.
Yes.
What do you like most?
Well, somebody asked that yesterday and he said, which is more difficult? And I say the most recent, the one I ran most recently, because the memory is fresher. But I actually think this direction is a little easier. Because in the other direction, the piece, the long downhills on the road, but also you have 3 huge climbs at the very end in the other direction. So when the gas tank is empty, it's very hard. Here, I mean, you're up high, above Sherman,
it's not that
but
hard.
The terrain is much easier. Yes. Except that little climb of Maggie.
Yes.
which you don't think about as a major climb.
And it is.
It is.
And it is. I think, what happened? And
Yeah.
to arrive to Sherman, in the profile it was only downhill. And no. It was a piste that it didn't go down.
And there's these little climbs.
I said, where is the downhill? And I said to Rob, my pacer, I think we are mistaken. I stopped, I see the map, I had the cell phone with the photos, and it says down, I don't understand.
The only downhill was the super steep
super
where you couldn't
steep.
run. Because
and to
off
find
trail.
the
Yeah.
marks to arrive to the assistance, yes.
Speaking of marking, did you manage to stay on the course the entire?
Sometimes I had to check in the cell phone, I had the photo of the map,
Yeah.
just to be sure, because there were some pistes that came of Gross Gulch, they came and I hope it is this direction because there are other pistes similar.
Yeah.
And they didn't put any flag. They just said, no, the main road. You have to know that it's the main road.
Yeah.
That's it. But no, we didn't have any problems, and just to check in some points, but that's it.
Well, congratulations, Emma. I'm glad you
Thanks.
enjoyed your Hardrock experience.
Thanks a lot.